NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, U.S. troops will be working openly on the ground in Syria.
Plus, the GOP is in a state of flux as candidates emerge from a contentious debate.
And we will give you a look at how wicked we were this morning on the morning show for Halloween. Good morning. I'm Christine Belport on this Halloween Friday Eve.
Yeah, I'm Ashley Matthews. Speaking of Halloween, everyone is wondering what the weather will be like for trick-or-treating tomorrow.
Right, so let's head it over right now to Carlos and see what we have in store for us.
Coming up on a Halloween forecast, guys, it gets tricky, especially when there's rain in the forecast. But note that there is no fear in my eyes. I've got some good news for folks. It's looking more and more promising that our chances for rain on Halloween are going to be less and less by trick-or-treat time. So we get to that in a moment. For now, it's just very fall-like. Lots of cloud cover out there. I'm looking for this cloud cover to rather burn off a little bit later on in the afternoon hours. So we should be looking at some spotty sunshine, and that should help take our temperatures that are currently in the mid to low 40s and bump them up a bit by probably close to 10 degrees. Should get some spotty sunshine in the afternoon hours. By late afternoon, take it up to about 53 for the high. We'll cool it right back down into the 40s again. And that 44 degrees by 9 p.m., that's pretty much going to be the end of it. We're not going to get too much cooler than that. So it'll be a fairly mild night tonight. And then we'll start talking about the incoming rainfall and those chances for that continuing right up to, if not including, trick-or-treat time. So you want to stick around. I'll have that with your Halloween forecast. Again, rainy conditions. It's going to be hit or miss on whether or not that continues into trick-or-treat time, and details on that are just ahead in the broadcast. Christine?
Thank you, Carlos. Our big story at 11, a small number of U.S. Special Ops forces will be deployed to Syria in the fight against ISIS. The deployment marks the first time U.S. troops will be working openly on the ground in Syria. U.S. officials say President Obama ordered the deployment of fewer than 50 commandos to help coalition forces coordinate with the local troops. One official also said the U.S. will be sending additional aircraft, including F-15 fighters and A-10s, to the air base in Turkey. Hundreds of migrants, many holding children in their arms, have pushed through, look at this, metal barriers and a police cordon to force their way into Austria from Slovenia. Several people were seen collapsing amid the melee today near a refugee camp on the border with Austria. A backlog of some 4,000 people fleeing wars and poverty in the Middle East, Asia, and Africa has been formed at the border as Austrian authorities struggle to process thousands arriving every day.
Closer to home, a Kenosha man has been convicted of killing his daughter and trying to kill that baby's mother. A jury found Russell Rose Jr. guilty of all 7 counts against him, including first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 11-month-old Serenity. Prosecutors say Rose killed his daughter last November by slamming her to the ground after a violent argument with the girl's mother. He'll be sentenced in December. Madison police are looking for a man accused of robbing and hitting another man. It happened at 2 this morning on the 1900 block of Winona Drive. Police say the victim was walking home when the suspect stopped and asked him if he wanted a ride. The suspect then robbed the victim and hit him in the face with a gun. Police describe the suspect as a black man who is 6 feet tall, weighing around 200 pounds.
Janesville city leaders are now making plans for the all but officially closed GM assembly plant. The facility is part of a contract agreement reached between the United Auto Workers Union and GM. Now, this assembly plant will be closed during the term of that 4-year agreement. Now, some closed factories have been turned into casinos. For example, also one in Baltimore even became part of a shipping harbor. Janesville city staff recently drafted a salvage ordinance and will draft changes to the demo ordinance for the planned site. And now to the presidential race and new fallout from this week's heated GOP debate. The campaigns are reportedly planning to meet this weekend to discuss possible changes to future debates. Here's NBC's Peter Alexander.
Overnight, 2 surging senators, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, back at the Capitol to cast their votes against a bipartisan budget bill.
Now, Jeb, I don't remember.
Under fire, Rubio, who defended his attendance record against Jeb Bush during the GOP debate, making a last-minute change in plans to appear alongside his rival.
I can fix it.
While for Bush, the writing was on the wall. Jeb can fix it. In New Hampshire with NBC's Casey Hunt.
I'm going to have to do what other candidates do, which is brutally interrupt
not answer the questions that are asked. It's going fine.
Are you having any fun?
Oh yeah, you saw it. I'm having lots of fun.
After losing altitude in the Mile High debate, NBC News has learned Bush is privately reassuring nervous donors, vowing to improve as a candidate and a debater. And new overnight, U.S. News out with this 112-page Bush internal campaign blueprint, arguing Marco is a risky bet, adding, those who have looked into Marco's background have been concerned with what they've found. But the Rubio campaign tells NBC News it's been contacting Bush donors directly, trying to peel them away. The CNBC debate proved to be good business for Rubio and Cruz, both boasting a spike in fundraising. While frontrunners Donald Trump and Ben Carson keep motoring ahead, with Trump even complimenting Carson.
We get along very well. We're laughing at each other last night. We're winking at each other.
And we're talking about fantasy football?
And in the wake of Chris Christie's feisty debate performance, the New York Times called on the New Jersey governor to drop out. Overnight, Christie fired back.
If the New York Times hates me, that means I'm really getting someplace.
You know, our 20th annual Share Your Holidays to Eliminate Hunger is going on right now, and we want you to take part in our social media blitz this upcoming Monday, November 2nd. It's easy to do. Just download and print the social media blitz sign from our news links page and take a selfie with the sign. For every picture you post on Second Harvest Facebook page, Navient will donate 20 meals. Our goal is to get 300 pictures. Well, in case you weren't able to join us this morning, we want to show you we were getting into the Halloween spirit a little bit.
Oh, you know it. Take a look. I decided to make my dog Hallie my chia pet, and I was a gardener. It was actually very easy and very lightweight. You could tell she had no idea it was even on her.
I know. We decided to add our dogs to our Halloween costumes. That's little Ella, and she was a dragon. I was Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, who is the Queen of Dragons. So,
and let's talk a little trash now.
Yes,
that's Charlie as Oscar the Grouch. He even made a trash can part of his costume.
Cut out the bottom of it, and his son is going as Elmo and his wife as Cookie Monster. So they're going to have the whole gang out there trick-or-treating. It was a lot of fun this morning.
It's always fun.